Hey everybody, welcome back to the Par 4 virtual Kinstretch classes. Joe Gambino here. I always want to remind everybody that you should be doing your CARS routine prior to doing these classes. I know they're not incorporated within the class, but they serve an important part to our system. We use them to kind of touch base with our body, right? We want to kind of warm up the joints. We want to move through every single joint in every single position possible. So we want to utilize the CARS in that way, but we also want to use them as an assessment process. So as you're going through your CARS, you're going to be looking for the couple areas, the one or two big rocks for you, meaning that if you're going through your neck, then your shoulders, your scaps, your elbows, your wrists, your hips, your spine, your knees, your ankles, you're finding out which one or two of them are the hardest for you. Do you notice that they're the more difficult to control? There's more cramping. There's something different about those joints than all the other joints in the body. And that's going to give you a clearer indication of what joints you should be focusing on, right? Because there's lots of ways to do mobility. You're going to see lots of different things in these classes. There's a ton of content that you're going to find on our members page, but the way that you're going to use it is your CARS are going to tell you what areas that you need to focus on. Then you have your movement of the week. You're going to be doing that daily. Then you're going to do Kinstretch classes. They're going to be targeted for general mobility. They're not, yes, we tell you what body parts they're focused on, but what you do is, as you're taking those classes, what you found from your assessment, you're going to take with you the knowledge into the class. So this way, when you find drills that strike you or target the areas that you want to work, you can add them into your daily practice. So then your daily practice becomes CARS, the movement of the week, and one or two movements from one of the Kinstretch classes that resonate with the areas of your body that you need to work on. And then you do that over the course of a few weeks. And then as your CARS start to change and your assessment changes, or you find something new within a class that really strikes you to help build a better joint at whichever one that you are focusing on, then you can add them into your daily routine or replace an old one for the new one. So you're always having a nice, quick, easy daily way to target your movement. And then you have the classes for more of this general mobility that you're going to be targeting on a weekly or even bi-weekly basis, right? So let's get started. I know that was a lot, but there's a common question on how we should be using the Kinstretch and how do you put it into your day-to-day and all that stuff. So I think that kind of covers it in my mind, and with my own mobility training, that's how I think about it, right? CARS, assess. I have my specific movements that I want to work on that I find either through someone who's assessing me, telling me, or through going to a Kinstretch class and getting some ideas in that regard. So we're actually going to start off, even though with some neck CARS, we're going to do it a little bit different, all right? So sometimes in these classes, you're going to get into new varieties of CARS that you can add into your routine, right? You're more than welcome to slide these into your daily routine if you really like them, instead of doing the typical standing neck CARS. We're going to come on our stomach, all right? We're going to have our arms down to our side, and what we're going to do is we're going to create scapular retraction and depression. So let me just show you my back real quick, just so you can see what I'm talking about here. So when I'm laying on the floor, I'm going to have my arms here, and then I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades back and pull them away from the ear, and you're going to keep it locked in this position as you go through your neck CAR. So I'm here, I'm going to have my hands almost like I'm about to do a push-up. I want to do just what you saw me do. I want to squeeze my shoulder blade nice and tight. I want to pull my shoulder blades away from my ear. And now we're going to create a neck CAR. So I want to look up to the ceiling as high as I can without losing my blades. I'm going to trace my chin over to the left as far as I can. When I can't go any further, I'm going to drop my chin towards my clavicle as far as I can. Keep the tension in your shoulders. When I can't drop down anymore, I'm going to drive the chin back up to the ceiling. Slowly scrape it around through the opposite side. Get all the ways over to my right side, maintaining my shoulder blade retraction. Drop my chin to my right clavicle as far as I can. When I can't go anymore, chin goes up, Scooch around all the way to the other side. When I run out of space, we're dropping the chin. We're going to do 2 more. Chin up. Circle around nice and slow, control to the other side. Retraction and depression at all times. Drop the chin to the right clavicle. Coming on up. Around to the left-hand side. We're going to go to the left clavicle now with the chin. Last one, really focus on your retraction here. Try not to let it go as you swing around to the opposite side. Dropping down to the clavicle. Chin back up to the ceiling. Slowly carve that out to the other side. And then we're going to finish up with the chin to the left clavicle. All right. While we're down here, we're going to go into some swimmer hovers, okay? So we're going to have our hand on our head. Behind, I'm going to do one in the kneeling position just so you guys can get a quick visual of it, because not everyone has done them before. So if I was laying on my stomach, my hands are going to go behind my head. I'm going to pinch my shoulder blades back and pull, and then as well pull my elbows behind me. I'm going to lift my hands off my head, straighten my elbows, drop down to the T position, rotate my arms, drop them down to the A position, and then reach them behind my back as high as I can, settle them down, and then you go the opposite direction. Off, elbow straight to the A position, come back up to the T position, rotate palms, Y position, behind the head, okay? So we're gonna do that same thing laying down on our stomach, all right? We're gonna come in here, hands go behind the head, forehead on the floor. I'm going to squeeze my blades, lift my hands up off the floor, straightening out the elbows, making to the Y position. I'm going to keep my hands off the ground as high as possible as I get to the T position. I'm going to flip my hands so palms point towards the ceiling. My hands are always as high off the ground as possible to the A position. Elbows bend as I reach up my back as high as I can. Hold it over there for 3, 2, 1, and then settle it down. We're going to do that same thing again. I'm going to lift my hands up, hold for 3, 2, 1, straighten the elbows. A position, hands off the ground as much as you can to the T position. Point the palms down. Reach up, 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 up to the Y position. Keep those elbows high as the hands go behind your head. Hold here for 3, 2, 1, and down. And we're going to do that one more time. I'm going to drive my elbows up, squeeze my blades. Hands up. 3, 2, 1. Straighten those elbows to the Y position. Hands up real high off the ground to the T position. Rotating my arms high off the ground as you go find the A position. Hands reach behind the back as high as possible. Hold over your back for 3, 2, 1, and come down. And we're going to return to the top. So hands come up. Elbows get straight into the A position. Driving those arms up nice and high to the T position. Rotating. Coming straight on up to the A and to the Y position. Elbows up real high as the hands come over the head. Hold there for 3, 2, 1, and down. Let's come on up. All right. We're going to come starting in a seated position. All right, we're going to go into middle split. So we're going to go nice and wide with our legs. All right, and we're just going to start with some breathing and some moving. All right, so Hands out in front. You take a deep breath in. And then you're going to breathe out and fall forward. Walk those fingers. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk the hands forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk the hands forward. We'll do 3 more breaths here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Walk your fingers forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands forward. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands forward. Let's hang out here for a couple seconds. Just relaxing into the stretch. Just breathe while you're here. You're trying to just relax. Try not to let your hands slide back very far. 2 more breaths before we come back up. 1 more breath. All right, let's come sit up nice and tall. All right, from here, we're going to bring ourselves into butterfly. So I want to take my left leg and then I want to lift it up off the floor. And then I want to pull that knee in towards my armpit. Hook it around and get my heel to come towards my belly button as much as possible. And then we're going to take our right leg, we're going to lift it up off the ground. Pull that knee in and come foot to foot. All right. We're going to start here with some pails and rails in the butterfly position. So I want to stick my elbows into the sides of my knees. Our pails contraction, it's an isometric contraction that we're going to take as we push our knees up into our elbow with about 20% max effort. And I want you to go from that 20% and work your way up to 40%. 40% to 60%. 60 to 80, 80 to 100%. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off. Try to pull the knees even further to the ground. Keep on pulling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to keep holding your knees down. I want your chest to come up high. We're going to hold our hand out in front of us. All right. We're going to go through some wrist cars. So those knees are always being peeled to the ground. Okay. We're going to take our wrist with the palms closed and we're going to bend the wrist up towards you as far as you can. Then I want to bring my knuckle out to the pinky side. I'm going to slowly curve that back into extension. Remember about your knees, keep them peeling towards the floor. Circle your way around towards the index finger side and then slowly come all the way up into flexion. One more time in that same direction. In towards the pinky side, bring it back into extension. Come across to the index finger side, coming on up into flexion. And we're going to go out now towards the index finger side. So we're going to rotate out towards the index finger, bring it all the way back into extension. Keep driving those knees down and your chest up high, all the ways over to that pinky side. Come on up into flexion. One more time, get to that index finger side. Reach on back into extension, sliding across to the other side, all the ways up through flexion again. And then we're going to stick our elbows back in on our knees. We're going to go round 2 here, pushing up 25%, 35 to 45% of your max efforts, 65, 75%, 85%. Push those knees into your elbows 100%. Both sides. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then pull the knees down towards the ground. Keep pulling. Chest stays tall. Drive those knees down. Pull, 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 pull. 5 more seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your knees in this position, always driving them towards the floor. and we're going to go left hand wrist car. So I'm going to bend up into flexion. I'm going to bring it out towards my pinky side. Slowly roll that wrist back into extension as you slide it across towards the thumb side. Slowly bring it up into flexion, nice and controlled. I'm going to go one more time in this direction. Knees peel down as you go to the pinky side. Really bring it down into extension, circling around towards the index finger side, or the thumb side, sorry, and then all the ways up into flexion. We're going to reverse this. So now I want to go towards the thumb side first as I reach back into extension, out towards the pinky side. Slowly come on up, make sure the knees are separated and the chest is up tall. All the ways around to the thumb side again, extension, slide across to the pinky side as you slowly come up, and finish that rep into flexion. Elbows will go on again. We're going to do one more round of pails and rails here. You're going to push up knee into elbow 20% to 30. Build it up to 40% tension, to 50%, to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. Hold there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the knee down. Really driving those knees down to the ground, trying to really expand that motion. Trying to hold on. 5 more seconds to pull. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to put your elbows back on. I'm setting a 2-minute timer here, and we're just going to hang out. So just a quick reminder, as always, the pails and rails contraction, they are isometric, so they're mainly end range isometric holds, meaning the joints are trying to contract. They are contracting, not trying to, but there is no actual joint movement, right? So when I push up into my elbows, they push, the muscles inside of the thigh are squeezing, but there was no movement happening at my hip. When I pulled it down, there was a little movement that happened because our nervous system granted us a little bit more motion, but we held it for 10 at that new end range, and we really tried to strengthen it and keep that isometric contraction on for the full 10 seconds. We spend a 2-minute stretch here because that is kind of the time that the research is showing that the tissues in the body are actually paying attention to stretch. So we hold for about 2 minutes. And the pails and rails, the goal here is to improve our passive range of motion. So I know we talk about how Kinstretch is active, but if you don't have a passive flexibility base, there's nothing to make active, right? So we'll go over some end range options. When you see passive range hold, lift offs, the hovers, like the swimmer hovers, those are all trying to really strengthen and improve your actual end range control and mobility, where the pails and rails, their job is passive range or your flexibility. All right, we're hanging out here for about another 30 seconds. Very, very exhilarating to hang out here in this nice, very comfortable position. All right, about 20 seconds more to go. All right, so from here, we're going to work on a couple end range options that we were talking about. We're going to a couple hovers in about 10 seconds. All right, we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just stay in this position. Don't just bounce out of it. All right, we're going to go into our next one. So I want you to keep your left elbow on your left knee. You can grab hold of your ankle and get up tall. And now we're going to look at lifting our leg from our foot first. So what I want you to do is try to really lift that foot off the ground before the knee picks up. That may not happen, but try your best. You're going to clear the floor. Then I want you to straighten out your knee. Keep it up as high as you can. Hold there for 3, 2, 1. And now you're going to rotate it and pull it back in towards your foot. Settle the knee down as low as you can. Stay nice and tall. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So we're going to lift. Trying to get that foot up first as best as you can. Straighten that out. Leg up nice and high. Pull that back into the start in a slow, controlled fashion, and down. One more time here. Lock it in. You're building tension through knee pushing into your elbow on the left side and your hands hooking into your foot. Really try to get that foot off the ground before the knee. Straighten it out nice and high. Pull it back in. foot to foot, and down. We're gonna switch to the other side. I'm gonna hook my right elbow into my right knee. I'm gonna grab both hands are gonna grab my ankle. I'm thinking about lifting from my foot first. Clear the ground. Straighten that knee out as far as you can, as high as you can. Pull it back in under control, foot to foot, maintaining your angles. 2 more times here on this left side. Lift on up. Knee into armpit. Straighten that leg out. Rotate it, foot to foot. 1 more time here. Try to lift that foot first. Straighten that leg out. Hold 3, 2, 1, and then bring it back in and down. All right, chest up nice and tall. Flex your spine as much as possible. Try to get your head to touch your feet. Get your spine up nice and tall. Keep on pulling those knees towards the floor. Try to drive your head down towards your feet. Nice and tall. Head back down. 2 more times, chest up tall. Pull back down. Chest up tall. And we're going to finish by tucking on down. Slowly come out of this position. We're going to come into standing for the last 2 drills. I apologize if my head gets cut off, but you guys don't need to look at me. You just need to see my feet. All right, so stretch it out. You might feel a little stiff after being down there. We'll march in place, shake it out, okay? Now, all right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna work on ankle inversion in a standing position. If this is painful or very hard, the regression will be staying in the seated position, using your hand to twist it in, and then just putting isometric contractions outwards into your hand. So it's just the pals contraction. You'll do 5 times 20-second holds. So again, that's taking if this is my right leg, left hand grabs under. I take the outside of my foot. I pull it in towards the floor, so I'm inverting my foot. This arm is gonna block my knee from rolling out. And then I'm gonna just take my pinky side right down here, and I'm gonna push it back into my hand, and I'm gonna hold that 5 by 20-second holds. If whoever is doing this drill can tolerate this, I prefer to do this one, but that will be the regression if need be, okay? So, get a little closer here. So what I want you to do, and you'll see the difference between my left and right because I sprained my left ankle not too long ago, so the mobility is still a little bit different. But we're gonna rotate our feet, invert them as far as we can. That's getting a little bit better. All right, I wanna try not to let my knees bend or roll out too far. We're gonna hold it there for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I want you to very slowly lower that back down to the ground, the big toes. Don't just collapse back in. We're gonna do that again. I want you to rotate out. Get as much as you can. Stay tall. Don't let your booty shoot backwards. Right, nice and tall, rolling out. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring it back in. 3 more here. Roll out. Keep the hips locked in. Get as far as we can. Hold, hold, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly roll back in. 2 more to go as you roll out. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly roll that back in. And last one, roll it on out. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back in. All right, let me take a step back. We're gonna finish up with a little bit of squat work today. So we're gonna do some kinetic stretching. Kinetic stretching within the system is pretty much the hardest level, because now instead of doing isometrics, we're adding a concentric contraction and an eccentric contraction. So we're going to pull ourselves down into the squat as low as you can go. Eccentric, we're going to hang out there. Then we're going to do a concentric contraction. We're going to come up halfway, and then you're going to pull yourself down even lower into the squat. All right, we're going to do that 5 times to finish up. So let's all start nice and tall. We'll do it together. Doesn't matter if your feet are dead straight or out, or if your feet are wider or closer. It's whatever's comfortable for you. Imagine if you were going into the gym, you're going to grab some kettlebells or a barbell and do some squats, okay? That is where I want you to set up. All right, so we're going to start by pulling down, build some tension, pull yourself down towards the bottom of the squat as far as you can. Hang out there for a second. Slowly come up out of the squat. Freeze, pull yourself down a little bit lower. I'm going to stay down here for a second. If you're having a really hard time, take a couple of weight plates if you're at a gym, or maybe some pillows or whatever to stick under your heel. If you prop it up, you'll have an easier time squatting. I want you to come up out of the squat a little bit. Pull your way down. That's rep 2. Pull yourself up. Come back down for rep 3. Notice how you may get lower and lower every time. Chest stays tall as you come up. Pull on down for rep 4. Come back up again. And then pull back down for rep 5. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. And then you can slowly come out of it. I'm going down so I can talk to you guys, but you can stand up and shake it off. So that's today's class. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. A little bit of mix of everything. Got a little neck in there, a little wrist involved, some spine, some hip, some squat, ankle, right? So very versatile. Remember, pick the things that strike you, that affect the areas that you are limited in. Utilize those areas on a day-to-day basis. Make your weakest links stronger, and then constantly assess via your CARS routine to figure out what areas are constantly needing focus, because you never know, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months down the line, your CARS may tell you something different than they do today. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out to us. Email us at par4performance@gmail.com or via the Facebook group, and we'll see you next week.